Morning students, welcome back to my class. Students, today I am going to start a new unit, that is taxonomy in plants and or plant systematics. So let's see first what is taxonomy. If you walk through the vegetation areas, you will find different varieties of plants, and you can see some are herbs, some are shrubs, some are trees, some are annual, some biennial, and some perennial. Likewise, some are hydrophytes and xerophytes, and mesophytes are there. So that is the branch which deals with the identification and naming and classifying these plants is called taxonomy. And plant systematics is the variety of plants and their evolution. The relation between the varieties of plants and their evolution is called plant systematic. So in this video, in this class, we are going to see the technical description of a family, Fabaceae. So what is the technical description or semi-technical description? When we describe about a plant, about a twig, when we describe the morphological features, that means how it looks externally, and the description should be very brief, simple, and in technical terms. That is called technical description of a plant. And it should be written in a very proper sequence. And in the practical exam also, and practical also, a twig was given to you, and you have to write the semi-technical description of the twig. So you have to describe about the characters. So you have to see whether this is shrub, that means the habit of the plant and habitat from where it belongs. So where it lives or where it is found, either it is tropic, subtropical, or temperate, it is found in temperate region, or worldwide distributed, or somewhere only it is found. And the habit of the plant is whether it is herb, shrub, or trees, or climbers, or twinners. And then you have to write the vegetative characters of the given plant or given twig. That is, the vegetative characters are root. You have to describe about the morphological structure of root, that how root looks externally. That means whether it is taproot or adventitious root, or it is a fibrous root. If it belongs to monocot, then it has fibrous root system. If it is a dicot, then the dicot has taproot system. Similarly, you have to describe about the stem and the leaf. So first you have to write about the vegetative characters, and after the vegetative characters, floral characters comes. So after describing the vegetative and floral characters, you have to write the floral diagram and floral formula. So, and the economic importance if the family is having any. So these things when you describe, that is called technical description or semi-technical description we say, because technically in a brief form we are describing about a plant. So let's see, today we are going to see about the family Fabaceae, and it is also known as pea family. Earlier, this is known as Papilionaceae or Papilionadae. AC comes when the Papilionadae, later on the suffix, the family name should be in AC form, then it became Papilionaceae. So the Fabaceae or Papilionaceae, actually this is a subfamily of Leguminosae. The family is Leguminosae and it belongs Cisalpinaceae, Mimosaceae, and Fabaceae. So actually the Fabaceae is subfamily of Leguminosae. So let's see how it is taxonomically arranged. So let's see the systematic position of this family. So according to natural system, the Bentham and Hooker classification, it belongs to kingdom Plantae. As we are describing about this plant, so it is kingdom Plantae. And the class, this family is, the plant is dicot, Dicotyledone. Dicot means which character it is having? Taproot system, pentamerous flowers, reticulate venation, and two cotyledons in seed. These are some characters of dicot which we see when we go through it. So class is dicot. And a subclass, polypetalae, that means petals are not united, but in some we will find the petals are united also. And series calyciflorae, and petals are not united, and series is calyciflorae because perigynous flower it has. And order is Rosales, and family actually which is subfamily Fabaceae, family is Leguminosae. The genus we are going to see is Pisum, and the species is Sativum, that is pea plant. So here you can see there are some plants. I put the slides of some plant, Arachis hypogaea, that is groundnut, and Crotalaria ternata or verrucosa, that is Shankhupushpam, it is known as, and Indigofera tinctoria, the dye, blue dye we obtained, and Ascumaceae aspera. So these families belongs, and there are some other plants also, Cajanus cajan, red gram, and Cicer erinatum, that is Bengal gram, and Phaseolus mungo, Phaseolus aureus, green gram, Phaseolus mungo, black gram, Dolichos lublub, beans, Glycine max, soya bean, and Pisum sativum, garden pea, Lathyrus sativus, wild pea. So there are many plants, Sesbania sesban, and Pterocarpus santalus, sandalwood tree. So there are many plants which belongs to this family. So the distribution, if you see, the distribution, and this is the diagram. You have to first draw the diagram of the twig. So habit, how the twig looks. This is the twig, and then you have to draw the LS of flower, the longitudinal section of flower, and in the floral parts you can see, and it is a standard petal. Then the gynoecium part, the upper portion is stigma, and these are stamens, and here style, slender tube-like structure which is called style, and this portion where the ovary, where the seeds are present, this portion is called ovule, and here you can see the green color leafy structure calyx. So this is the LS, longitudinal section of a flower, and then calyx, how calyx looks, and then the arrangement of corolla, how it is arranged in this particular plant, and the endoecium separately we will see each and every character, and gynoecium, stigma, style and ovary, and TS of ovary, not CS, TS of ovary, transverse section of ovary. And in the transverse section we can observe that how the ovule is present, because it is the marginal, it is showing marginal placentation, and this is floral diagram, and here floral formula is written. So we will see each and every character, we will discuss about this, and this is the twig diagram. So let's see, this is the third largest family. So in the distribution you can see Fabaceae includes 741 genera. Actually in some books it is written 450 genera are there, but it is the third biggest family. So it includes 741 genera, and more than 20,200 species are found. In some books 18,500 is written, but actually the more number of species are found. So 20,000 above species are found in this family. And the members are cosmopolitan in distribution. That means it is worldwide distributed, and but abundant in tropical region. Tropical region means in here in India, this the seasons are found, so this is tropical, and subtropical regions also we can see. And the habit, if you see, habit means we have to describe whether this is herb or shrub or trees or climbers. With the tendril climbers, with the help of tendrils, some plants climb. So let's see in which type of plants this family includes. Indigofera tinctoria, Indigofera and Crotalaria prostrate means it is later creeper type, and erect, in some Crotalaria erect. Some shrubs also have Cajanus cajan and Cicer. These are shrubs. Cajanus cajan, the gram families have shrubs, and small trees are also present. In Sesbania, it is a tree-like structure. And climbers, Clitoria, we can observe climbers. With the help of tendrils, they climb. Whereas in Crotalaria, prostrate type. And large trees, small trees in Sesbania, and a large tree, Pongamia and Dalbergia latifolia. In rosewood and Pongamia petroplant, trees, they are trees. So all types of variety we can observe in this family. Shrubs are there, trees are there, large trees and small trees are there, and some climbers and twinners are there, and Butea monosperma, woody climber. This is a woody climber. So some are hydrophytes, and this is called pith plant. This aspera is called pith plant. So these family have all varieties of habit. So different types of plants we have seen here. Now let's see the vegetative characters. So when you are going to describe about the vegetative character, first you have to start from the root. So how is the root? In the systematic position, we have seen that it comes under class dicot, because the root system is taproot system. And what is taproot system? The radicle directly grows and it forms primary root. And from the primary root, secondary roots are formed, and from tertiary roots are formed, and then root hairs. If that type of structure we see in the root, that is called taproot. And as in the Fabaceae, in the Leguminosae family, we have seen that in the root nodules are present. So what is living symbiotically with this root? The bacteria called Rhizobium is living symbiotically here. So here you see taproot system is present, and roots are nodulated. In root modification, we have studied that nodular type of root is seen in Arachis hypogaea. I have given the example there, but all P family, Fabaceae, Leguminosae family have nodulate, and it helps in fixation of nitrogen. These have tuber-like structures containing root nodules which help in fixation nitrogen. And the bacteria name is called Rhizobium. Now I think you understood that what is root. So when you have to describe the root, see that whether it is directly growing from the radicle or not. So it is the radicle directly growing into primary root, and then secondary root and tertiary roots are formed. So that type of root is called taproot. So taproot is present in this family. In Fabaceae, which type of root? Taproot system. And in the root, nodules are present. And in the nodules, so it is also nodules which form tuber-like structure, or nodulated roots we say. And inside the nodules, a Rhizobium bacteria is living, which is living symbiotically with the roots of the Fabaceae family and roots of the plants, and it helps in the fixation of nitrogen. These 4 points you have to remember when you are going to write about the root character. So number 1 is, here you can see another slide I put here, and we observe this nodule like structures. I am making big nodules so that it can be visible for you. Now let's see the stem. After root, now you have to describe about the stem, and description should be brief, that means small, and in a very simple form. So, and let's see the stem. Stem is aerial. Aerial means that it grows in the direction of light. It is positively, it is growing phototropic. So aerial stem, we can observe this. Herbaceous. Herbaceous means herbs like, that means smooth, not woody. In trees, Sesbania is a tree, Dalbergia is a tree. So then in the Dalbergia plant, if you are going to mention about the Dalbergia plant, then the stem is woody. But here we have chosen the example Pisum sativum. It is a small herb type. So this plant have herbaceous stem and woody in Dalbergia. So some are twinners, I told you, some are climbers. So you can mention that, and a twinning and a climbing also in Clitoria ternata. Pisum sativum, the terminal leaflets of Pisum sativum also turn into tendrils, which helps in the climbing of plant. But that is the leaf modification. In the stem, generally herbaceous stem, woody in trees, we found shrubs also light woody, and a twinning, when tendrils are present, they are tendril climbers, twinners, all type of stems we can see in this family. Now let's see the after stem leaf. So how the leaves looks. Leaf is simple, and what is the meaning here? What do you mean when I say simple type of leaf? Simple means when a petiole has a single lamina, that type is called simple. Incisions may be there, but when the incisions are not touching the midrib and on the petiole only one lamina is present, that is called simple type of leaf. So leaves in some plants simple, and in some unifoliate, and in some bifoliate also, Desmodium unifoliate, and in bifoliate Jornia, a plant Jornia is there where bifoliate. Bifoliate, unifoliate means it is a palmate type of leaf. Palmate means a compound leaf. So simple leaves are present, compound leaves are present. Compound, palmate, unifoliate. If I say unifoliate means one leaf is there and single leaf is also there. So it is unifoliate. When I say bifoliate means two leaves are joined here. That is bifoliate. And a trifoliate in some bean plants, trifoliate, Dolichos we see. So that is trifoliate. So three leaves are joining here at the same point. That is trifoliate. So trifoliate leaves in Lublub, Dolichos lublub, and unipinnate, pinnately compound leaf. That means unipinnate, one rachis is present, and that one rachis, many leaflets are present. That is unipinnate. If the arrangement is like this, that is unipinnate. Or simple pinnate, pinnately compound. That means this type of leaf is simple pinnate in Clitoria. In Clitoria we can see. And so the type of leaves are either simple, that means on the petiole one lamina is present, either pinnately compound or palmately compound. In palmately compound we have seen unifoliate, bifoliate and a trifoliate, and unipinnate also in some plants. And next to this point, now let's see the arrangement of leaves. That is called phyllotaxy. Which type of phyllotaxy is written here? Alternate. Alternate means if this is the stem, Colline means if the leaves are present on the stem. If the leaves are present on the branch, that is ramal. And if leaves comes from the root part radical, that is called radical type of leaves. So it is generally Colline, and on the branches also present. So here when I am saying alternate, that means at one node only one leaf is present, that is called alternate. Here another node, another leaf is present. They are orthosticky type arrangement is here and spiral type of arrangement. So alternate leaves means at one node only one leaf is present. Here you can see, of course, this is the arrangement, this is the pinnately compound. So we consider the rachis, one rachis is present, another rachis is like this. So you see on this rachis, leaves are arranged in this manner. Again this rachis, so here not opposite direction. You consider this rachis because it is a compound type. In compound type, we see from each node one rachis is coming. So the arrangement of like this, that is called alternate. And stipulate. Stipules are present. Stipules, small leafy like structures, if we see near at the base, that is stipules. Here you can observe the stipule. At the base of the rachis, stipules are present. And leaf base is pulvinate. Very, very important point, a very important characteristic feature of this plant. Pulvinous leaf base is present in the Fabaceae family. Pulvinous means, if you observe at the base, if you see, the rachis is like this. That means swollen. Here this portion, the end of the rachis or the end of the petiole is swollen. So the swollen part is called pulvinous leaf base. So in Fabaceae, pulvinous leaf base is present, pulvinate, or you can write pulvinous. Leaves showing reticulate venation. As it is from, it is dicotyledon. So in dicots, which type of venation we see? Reticulate. And what is reticulate venation? Veins and veinlets are arranged in that manner that they are forming a net-like structure on the lamina, that is called reticulate. If they are running parallel to each other, that is parallel venation. So here it is a dicot plant. So taproot system is one of the characteristic feature. Reticulate venation is present, and terminal leaflets modifies into tendril. In it, I told you that in Pisum sativum, it is a modification of leaves. The terminal leaflet, that means these leaflets, terminal portion, which are situated at the apex, these leaflets turns into tendrils. What are tendrils? Leaf tendrils, they are thin, spirally coiled structure. They are green in color, thin, delicate, and spirally coiled structure, and they help in climbing the plant. So they, when they get in contact with a support, they cause the support and help in climbing. So this is the description of leaf. Now let's see the floral character. Okay, another plant I have put here for your better understanding, in which you can see the pods, fruits, and the bean fruits, how it looks, and the structure of leaves. Here the arrangement you can see. Here trifoliate leaves are present. In this also trifoliate leaves are present. So it is a showing compound type of leaf. Root also taproot system, and this is the primary root. From the primary root, secondary roots are coming, and from the secondary root, tertiary roots are coming. Here you can observe clearly. And in the roots, what are there? Nodules, tubers like structures are present. In the tubers, which bacterium is living? Rhizobium bacterium. And it lives with symbiotic association, and it helps in the fixing of nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen. It fixes in the soil. So this is, we have seen stem, leaf and root till now. Now let's see the floral characters. And when we start floral character, first of all you have to write the inflorescence. What is inflorescence? The arrangement of flowers on the peduncle. That means the floral axis, flowers are arranged. So let's see in this family how the flowers are arranged. The raceme. What is raceme? In Crotalaria, raceme type of arrangement. And the panicle, that means when raceme is branched, that is called panicle. In Dalbergia and Dalbergia latifolia and Crotalaria verrucosa, plant full name is, so it is also called as sun hemp. And in raceme inflorescence, raceme, it belongs to racemose type. In racemose inflorescence, the peduncle growth is indefinite. And which type of flower? Bracteate, pedicellate flowers are arranged in acropetal manner. So flowers in this family are, raceme means they are arranged in acropetal manner, and they are pedicellate, because raceme is a, in raceme we have seen pedicellate flower. So flowers are with pedicel and with bracts, and they are arranged in acropetal manner. That means the larger flowers are at the base and smaller flowers are at the top. So simple raceme. We see in simple raceme type in which plant? In Crotalaria. And the panicle type. Panicle, if the raceme becomes branching, it shows branching and each branch looks like simple raceme, that is called a panicle. So all this we have studied. We are describing the morphological characters that we have already studied in the morphology of root, stem and leaf. Morphological character means how it looks externally. The appearance, the external appearance of the plant we are describing. So first we described about the root, then stem, then leaf, and now we are describing the floral characters, the inflorescence, the arrangement of flowers. So in this you see the panicle arrangement is there. And solitary, axillary. Axillary, if the axil, axillary means from the axil. And what is axil? I described you the angle between a branch and a stem, and this is the petiole, petiole of the leaf. So in between this, if any leaves or in here a branching is forming, in between this, if a leaf is formed, or flower is formed, that is called axil. So this in between petiole or a branch, this angle is called axil. So this is axillary. Solitary means single flower. So in some plant we can see single flowers also. In Clitoria ternata, we can observe single flower, which is axillary, from axils, not from terminal portions. Now let's see the description of flower, how the flower of this plant or this family looks. Flowers are, number 1 point, bracteate. Bracteate means, and where are these bracts present? Bracts are simple, small leaf-like structures which are present on the end of the pedicel. So if we find such bracts-like structure at the pedicel, here you can see this, of course here this is not present. In some plants, okay, it is cut. Let's see in so small leaf-like structures are called bracts. So bracts are found here, so it is a bracteate. If bracts are present, bracteate flowers. And bracteolates, that means bracteoles. What are bracteoles? Bracteoles are present at the base of the calyx. So at the base of the calyx, if bracteoles are present, small scaly structures are present, that is called bracteoles. So in some plants we can observe bracteoles. Here it is not present. In Sesbania we can see. And a pedicellate. Pedicel means the stalk of the flower. So we have seen it is racemose type in, and racemose with pedicellate flowers. So pedicel is a stalk-like structure which we can observe here. Here also you can see a small stalk is there. So with the help of the pedicel, it is attached to the branch or to the stem. First point bracteate, second bracteolate, third we write here pedicellate, pedicel is present. Now again the next thing, complete flower. What is complete flower? If all the four whorls are present. That means calyx is present, corolla is present, androecium and gynoecium. Both essential and non-essential organs are present. That means it is a complete flower. So here you can see calyx is present. This is calyx and this part is corolla, and corolla, ovary, stigma, style and stamens. So all the four whorls are found. That is called complete flower. So this flower is complete. And again, when it is a complete flower, that means all the four present, then that means bisexual also. Androecium and gynoecium, both the sex organs, both male and female reproductive organs are present. That flower is called bisexual. Pentamerous. Just see, pentamerous means, I explained you when we have seen the morphological structure of flower, pentamerous, tetramerous and trimerous. The merosity of flowers we have seen. Pentamerous means if the calyx or corolla, that means sepals or petals, if 5 or multiple of 5, or we can say if the floral whorls are 5 or multiple of 5, that means multiple of 5 means 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that is called pentamerous. If these floral whorls, number of these floral whorls are 4 or multiple of 4, 4 plus 4 or 8 or 12 or 16, like that, if present number of floral whorl, especially in calyx and corolla, if we see 4 sepals or 4 petals, that means it is a tetramerous flower. And if 3 or multiple of 3, 3 to the 6 or 9, 3 to the 9, if 3 or multiple of 3 numbers of sepal and petals are present, that is called trimerous. That is a merosity. Here in this family, pentamerous flowers are present. That means 5 petals or 5 sepals are present. So, pentamerous flower. So, now how many characters we have seen? Number 1 character bracteate, number 2 bracteolate, number 3 pedicellate, number 4 complete, and number 5 it is a bisexual, and number 6 it is a pentamerous. Like this you have to write about the characters or when you are writing the floral flower. Heterochlamydious, homochlamydious and heterochlamydious. What does it mean? Hetero means different. Chlamydious means petals and sepal if when distinguished. We can distinguish, that means they are separate in looks. They are morphologically separate if you see. So, when you distinguish between sepal and petal, that is a heterochlamydious. But when perianth, that means sepal and petals look similar, that is called homochlamydious. But here we can say this part is calyx and this is corolla. So, heterochlamydious. 7th, zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means in the symmetry we have seen that when a flower is cut and it is divided into 2 equal halves into only one plane. A flower can be divided into 2 equal halves from only one plane, which from crossing to the center, it can be divided into 2 equal half from single plane, that is called zygomorphic. Whereas in actinomorphic, it can be divided into equal halves from crossing from the center from any planes. So, from all planes it can be divided into 2 equal halves. That is actinomorphic. And asymmetry cannot be divided into equal halves. That is kada we have seen. So, this flower is zygomorphic. And hypogynous. Hypogynous or sometimes perigynous. Hypogynous means ovary position is superior, and when ovary position is superior and rest of the floral parts like calyx, corolla and androecium are situated below, that type of flower is called hypogynous. But generally, in this plant, very rare hypogynous, perigynous flower is seen. That means half superior, half inferior ovary. The other parts are present at the rim of the thalamus, because the receptacle form a cup-like structure, and on the rim the remaining floral part situated, and the ovary position is half superior and half part ovary is outer side, half is inner. So half superior, or you can say half inferior ovary. So but here we are describing about the flowers, so we write perigynous flower, and mostly in this family perigynous flower is seen. That means ovary position is half superior. So this is how we describe about flowers. Now next, calyx. If you see the number of calyx 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Starting from this place, if we see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is 1. So 5 sepals are there. So number of sepals, separately we call this sepal, and it is known as calyx, but separately, individually it is sepal. So sepal, number of sepals 5. And how it look, the color of the sepal is green in color. And synsepalous, syn means gamo. You can write gamosepalous. Gamosepalous condition. If sepals are united, all the sepals are united, it is gamosepalous. If the sepals are free, that means like this, they are not united. Like this, if like sepals are like this, that means they are polysepalous. But here you can see all the sepals are fused, united. So gamosepalous. So sepals 5, green in color, synsepalous or gamosepalous, more or less united in a tube-like and persistent, in some persistent. And eastvation is volvate eastvation. Eastvation, volvate or imbricate, we will see in the floral diagram. In the floral diagram, we will see that how the volvate and imbricate eastvation is present. And odd sepal, there are 5 sepal. So the odd one is at anterior side. It is present at the anterior position. The odd sepal is. So I hope you understood this. In the floral diagram, we will discuss this, how it looks. Now, the corolla. The corolla, petals are 5. 5 petals are present. If you see number of petals, number 1 petal 1, 2 and 3. This is the third. And this one is 4th. And this one is the 5th. So, number of petals 5. Okay, this is right. Now, apopetalous. Apo means polypetalous. Sepals are united. So, gamosepalous condition. But petals are free. Polypetalous. So, here you can see the arrangement is in the eastvation. We have seen descending type of eastvation. Vexillary, which is known as vexillary. And there we have, I told you for the example for vexillary eastvation is P. So in that we have seen that one standard petal is there. So here this is a standard petal which is known as flag, and it attracts the insects or agents towards it. So this is the large petal, and next to it 2 wing petals are there. Next to this 2 wing petals, which is known as, these petals are known as alae. So 2 wing petals are there, and these 2 are also not united. So this is polypetalae. It is put under polypetalae. And this is also not united. These 2 are not united. Polypetalae. And wing petals, these are known as wing. Because on this, when the insects see this standard petal, they are attracted. And they put their legs on these wing petal, and then wing petals are pressed. And last is keel petals. These keel petals, you can see these are boat shaped and very small structure. These keel petals are very small, and only these 2 are united. So 1 plus 2 plus 2, the last 2 is in bracket. You can write like that. So the arrangement of this type of arrangement of corolla is known as Papilionaceous. So it is put under the family Papilionaceae. This type of arrangement of corolla, here it is not written anywhere. I am going to write that this type of corolla is called Papilionaceous. Papilionaceous corolla is present. So here if you see unequal, Papilionaceous corolla and vexillary or descending imbricate eastivation. Descending imbricate I just showed you, and in floral diagram also we will see eastivation. All petals have claw-like structure. The petals at the base claw-like structures are present, and the outermost petal is large and it is called standard petal or vexillum or flag, and lateral two petals are lanceolate in shape and curved with clawing, and it is known with claws, and it is known as wing petals or ali, and anterior to the last two petals are partly fused, are called keel petals or carina, which enclose the stamens and pistil. That means these two small petals, inside these two petals the essential organs are present. What are the essential organs? The gynoecium part and the endoecium part. So the piston, it is showing piston mechanism, pollination. At the pollination time, when insect come, it is attracted by the standard petals. They put their legs on these wing petals, and when these are pressed, the keel petals open, and then the essential organs are exposed. So let's see the endoecium. So number of in endoecium, we first describe about the number of stamens. Number of stamens is 10. You just count this: number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 stamens. But these are arranged in diadelphous. When I say adelphi, adelphi means fusion. Adelphi of stamen, we have seen there are 3 types: monoadelphous, diadelphous, and a polyadelphous. And it is diadelphous because filaments are fused but anthers are free. So here you can see that the 9 anthers, 9 filaments of the anthers are fused, and it is present on one delphus, one stalk, and one is present singly. But in Crotalaria all the 10 are fused, but mostly in most of the cases the arrangement is called 9 plus 1. So here you see diadelphous 9 plus 1. In Crotalaria 10, we will see that. In Crotalaria also 5 anthers are long and lanceolate, and 5 other anthers short. So it is not necessary, of course, for you. It is diadelphous, and in Crotalaria the odd stamen is posterior in position, this one, and stamens are fused to form bundles, each containing 5 plus 5. And stamens are monodelphous and dimorphic in some cases. So generally it is not necessary for you, of course. And in Crotalaria 10 stamens are there. And if you observe that anthers are diathecous. Diathecous means lots of time I explained you, 2 thecas are present. Here this is called diathecous anther. So this type 4 microsporangias are present. Diathecous and basifixed. Basifixed means filament is fixed at the base. So this is basifixed type. And dehiscence longitudinally. So when the pollen grains are, when the anthers reaches to maturity, and when the dehiscence comes, when pollen grains has to liberate, it divides longitudinally. So this is the information. This is how we explain about the endoecium. Now let's see the gynoecium. Gynoecium monocarpellary. Single carpel is present. Single carpel. Inside this single carpel is present, and this is one carpel, and inside this one locule. So it is monocarpellary unilocular. If it is hypogynous, then superior. Otherwise, it is half superior. So, if it is perigynous flower, then half superior also, half superior. And with two alternating rows of ovules. You have seen that in pod also the row of ovules are present, seeds are present, and it shows marginal placentation. So, when we open the pod, we see that at the one side of the suture pod seeds are present. It shows the arrangement of marginal placentation. So, marginal placentation, types of placentation we have seen, axial placentation, basal placentation, marginal placentation, different type of placentation is there. Style is simple and a long style, terminal style, and bent, little turned. You see this is turned style. This is stigma portion, and stigma flattened or feathery, sometimes feathery, flattened or knob like or disc like or flattened stigma, and a feathery stigma also is present. And the fruit, the pods, see. The characteristics of fruit of Fabaceae is it is a legume, dehiscent, dry fruit, dehiscent fruit. Dehiscent fruit means here dry dehiscent, the fruit when reaches to the maturity it breaks and it then liberates seeds. So, Pisum sativum, sometimes indehiscent also, and rarely in Desmodium lomentum type. So, schizocarpic, lomentum is schizocarpic. So, dry dehiscent, dry indehiscent and schizocarpic fruits are present, but we are describing Pisum. So, in this Pisum we can see dry dehiscent legume type of fruit with marginal placentation. All the seeds are arranged here, you can see. This is the description of fruit. Now, seeds are non-endospermic, non-endospermous. Non-endospermic means endosperm is a nutritive tissue. It is providing the food to the developing embryo. So, when the seeds developed, when the seeds are formed, that means the whole endosperm is utilized. So, when endosperm is completely utilized, that it is become non-endospermic. So, it is non-endospermous with thick cotyledon. Cotyledons are storing food. So, it becomes thick and fleshy. So, thick cotyledons are present. Now, let us see the floral formula. This is the floral formula and floral diagram. This is when we describe technically, we have to write about the what is floral formula. Let us see. In the flower floral, so it is completely dependent on the floral characters, not on the vegetative characters. So, we are describing. In another video, I will explain you the semi-technical description. Then I will explain you about the floral, how to write a floral formula and a floral diagram. So, let us see here BR means bracteate. As it is a bracteate flower, in the flower we have seen that is it is a bracteate. So, it is bracteate means BR, and it is a bracteolate also. So, bracteoles are present there. So, bracteolate. You have to write in capital letters. Starting letter is capital, bracteolate. And what is this percentage sign? This percentage means it is showing, it is representing the flower is zygomorphic. That means zygomorphic, I explained you just now, then if a flower is cut, can be divided into two equal halves from only one plane, that is crossing to the center, that is called zygomorphic. So, here one papilionaceous, in the corolla we have seen that one standard petal, big petal is there. So, it cannot be separated into equal halves from all the planes. So, one petal is very long. So, the flower is cut into equal halves from one plane, and that is zygomorphic. So, here the percentage sign represents zygomorphic flower. And bisexual also I explained. Bisexual means both male and female sex organs are present in the same flower. So, bisexual. So, how to write bisexual? It is male, and when you put a plus here, that is male and female both present. And next, describing about calyx K. Okay, calyx K, 5 within bracket, 5 is within bracket, and C, 5 corolla, 5. And endoecium, if you see, it is